Yes, hello everyone. Hope you are doing great. Okay. Yeah, so today we're going to be doing this here. Hello, Wedding Stories. How are you? Hello, PSCC. How are you? Hello, Izat. Good morning. Good morning to you too. Yeah, we're going to try and make this mega city. And let's jump right in, I think. Maybe before we do that, let's do some quick promos. Yeah, so this is True Asset. It's a library of blend files, objects that you can use in your... It's basically an asset library, and it makes use of the asset browser, the new asset browser. So you get a lot of models that you can use in your projects. Hello, Source Awareness. How are you? And yes, how is your morning? Yeah, like I was saying, this True Asset is just a collection of models that you can use with your projects. They are all textured, well made. So if you want to get it, link is provided in the description. It also comes with materials and PBR and what is it, HDRI images if you want to use those as well. Then there is Extreme PBR Nexus, which is a library of materials, PBR materials from water, ground, car paint, bricks, any type of material you can think of is in this library. So yeah, you get this and you will never need to make any new materials. Hey, Fleet World UK, how is your morning? Yeah, I'm sure it's morning in the UK as well. So how is it there? How are things? Then finally we have Simply Cloth, which is an add-on used to dress up characters. It comes with a lot of different clothes, trousers, shirts, blouses, bras, any type of clothing you might want. You can use this add-on to dress up your characters. And that's it. All links are going to be provided in the description. Great morning, Sequel Squire. Good morning, Squire. I'm not sure what that word means, but it's good. Nice. Okay, so we are trying to make this. Let me get, and I want to first study it a bit. You can see most of these at first glance they look super detailed, but when you start to zoom in a bit, you see some of the tricks they use to trick your eyes. You can see this looks at a first glance it looks like a very detailed building, but it's not a lot of detail. It's just quite a few shapes here and there, and it makes everything looks super good. And that's what we're going to do here in a way to fake the environment. So I think we can start by creating the city, the small buildings, towns, and then go from and then adding these light structures. Much appreciated. Excellent add-on. Yeah, there are some amazing add-ons. Hello, Bobby Alex. Good morning. Oh, another word for fella. Nice. But a little posher. We like posh words, man. Square. Yeah, I've heard of that. Oh, I think it was used in the medieval ages, was it? I know you make this easy, this photo. I'll try. Okay, let's start by making the small towns. And what we're going to do, I think the best way to approach that, yeah, I have a new geometry node setup, and I think it's going to be very useful in here. And the way it works is if you have, it's basically a modified array. So if you have a collection, let me just use one object here. You can use it's a geometry setup, and I'm going to be using it in this video because I think it's going to be very useful here. So basically it's like an array, but the difference is you can have duplicates on the X. You can change the gaps. You can also, if you want the Y plane, you can also do that. and it's basically a better way to instance objects than using the array, because the array does duplicates the geometry instead of instancing it, which makes your viewport kind of slow down. But if you use geometry nodes, it makes it much easier. And I'm going to use this setup because I have a lot of controls. I'm going to show you how it works. And basically, let me just copy this. If you want this geometry node setup, it's going to be on my Gumroad. I'll be sharing that, and also on my Patreon. Okay, so we want, and you can see how this looks. So we want to create a block like this. Let me get a city block like that, and then we can duplicate it several times, and we're going to use this to instance it. So let's make a few buildings. They don't have to be that detailed, but we need shops, we need okay, just going to scale this. Let's give this a roof. So maybe this is a 2-story building. And I don't know, maybe it has you want to keep these low poly as much as possible, because remember, we need quite a lot of these. And I'm going to use, let me materials, let me find a concrete material to use. Concrete Esquire. Okay. Let's let me just go to my texture folder and search for concrete. I like to use this here, so let me create a PBR. I think yeah, you can see already this looks good enough. Let me just use box cube projection. So this can be a building. We just want the shape to kind of look like a building, and I think I'm going to add a roof on this one like that, and I'm just going to vary the material here a bit. So I'll call this, let me first make sure that I'm saving this. So we are in June. I'll call this mega city. Now I want this to be the roof, and this is going to be the wall material. So let's add color mix RGB here for the roof color. Maybe we can even have an input object info so that we can randomize the color even further. So we're going to have some red roofs, some blue ones, and Blender just crashed. Mega city. Yeah. Okay, I want this to be the roof, and this should be the wall. Yeah, Blender just crashed on me, but that's no problem. Can okay. I want to get some object info input, object info, and a color ramp. We can change this to constant random. Okay, I don't know why it keeps crashing. Let me try a different version of Blender here. this. Dude, you know how to fake fire? Yeah, I think I have a story on how to fake fire. Okay, this is getting annoying. Blender crashes too much. So this should be, actually we should have a second material here called roof and assign it to the roof part of the building. Again, I need object info. Yeah, Bob Alex, just search for top channel 1-on-1 fake fire. You should be able to find something. I tried with curves and emission shader. Does it work like that? I do have a tutorial on fake fire, so you can search for, go to YouTube and search for top channel 1-on-1 fake fire. It doesn't seem to come up, but I do have a tutorial. You can search through my videos. There should be a fake fire tutorial. Maybe I didn't name it fake fire. Let's just do constant, add a few colors. Also want some orange roof. And dark blue roof. Okay, no problem. Good. Okay, so, and I think this can also be given a roof material. We also need a window material, so I'm just going to create window. Just basically make it dark and maybe metallic and reflective. Now we can just yeah, we don't want to be too detailed, but we also want to have some detail. So come in here, grab window, hey Ganja Farmer, how are you? Glad to see you. Things are great. Bobby, I think rendered in Blender on YouTube also has a great video on fire. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of videos here. So let's, yeah, we were still trying to make this block. We have at least 2 buildings. So let's see how they can be used to. And let me see, if I duplicate this, let me go back to the roof. Change this to color. I can even maybe make a second building like that. So I'm going to use this instance generator that I have to kind of create a block like this and then duplicate that. So let me grab this, have them in a buildings collection like that. it touches from a distance. Let me see if okay, so you can, if you want, let me show you how to quickly do that. You can have a plane like this, give it, if you want to create a torch, you can yeah, it needs depending on how close you want it to be to the camera, you can add a displacement modifier with a clouds texture, and you can add an empty, say like this. I'm just showing you how to kind of fake torch fire. So you can grab the empty, under coordinates, you want to use object and just use the object, the empty coordinates. And if I scale this down, we have this, and moving this up and down gives us fire. And you can also just scale this down because fire is usually smaller at the bottom there. So moving this up and down gives you that fire animation. And then maybe let me show you that a bit here. Yes. So you can see, hello Lonely Square, how are you? Now for the materials, it's the materials that is going to sell the fire. So what you can do is we just need say we need an emission and a transparency. Mix the two. Since we're using Eevee, you would have to make sure. Love from India, thank you. Love from Uganda. How is India? We want to change the blending mode to alpha blend, and you just need a noise texture for the transparency. So you just give it convert color ramp. Something like that, and just distort it a bit. And I would also recommend just maybe scaling it up a bit on the y-axis. Let's see, y-axis, and actually you can create a different copy of this empty. Maybe remove the keyframes and just parent it to the original object, and use it as the instance here. Now if you move this, it can kind of create the same fire. Then you would use some sort of gradient. Let me see. You could use a texture gradient, but set it to spherical, and just make sure that it's using UV mapping so that you can easily center the sphere like that. And I use this sphere now to just cut off. If you blend this noise with this, you can use subtract, I think. I think it could be the opposite. Yeah, you could use subtract like that, just so you have the fire just in one area like that. If you move the fire in the z-axis, and now for the colors, all you have to do is just since we have the fire here, this you can use a color ramp, and just either get a fire gradient image. If you go that, you should find something that should work. Let's see, I think it's usually red and white at the very end here. Now if we use this as the emission color, I think increase the you can basically fake fire like that. That's one way to fake it. Yeah, you can experiment with this and see. Let me see. What? Yeah, and then you can also animate the Z. Is it not the Z? Is it the Y? Yeah, the Y axis of this node. Let me see. No, not the scale, but you can animate these as well. Maybe make it. Yeah, you can experiment with that and you will finally get something that works. If you have bloom on, and yeah, that's one way to fake fire, especially if it's going to be, you know, actually it looks better without these, and I think it's going in the wrong direction, so you could just flip these around. Yeah, that could work like fire. So yeah, anyway, let's go back to today's topic of making this mega city. Hello from Detroit. Ah, nice. How is Detroit? Okay, so we have this instancer. Again, it's just a geometry node setup, and it takes in a collection. So let me, where is my, let me see, it's object. Okay, I think I'm not using the updated version of this group. Let me see. Open May circuit generator. Okay, so this is the version that I needed to use. So let me paste it here. Okay, so this one takes in a group. So I just drag in my group and just use collection. Now you can see how we can easily make a block like this using these geometry nodes setup. We can change, if you want the Z axis, which is not necessary, we can do that. So let's just keep things in the one direction like that. And you can randomize the rotation. This is just a geometry nodes. If you want the setup, you can get it from my Patreon page, or you can set it up using, what are you planning to do? I'm planning to make the entire thing here, at least something that looks like this. And the first thing we had to start with is making some buildings here that we're going to use as instances like this. And you can see how that looks. I don't like the random rotation and the random scale, so I'm going to go to minimum scale here. Just have it at 1 and the random scale at 1. Actually, you can turn off the random scale completely. Just scale things down. Now for the rotation, we don't want, we can have some random rotation, but we don't want too much rotation in this. Now we don't want too many houses in the block. So I'm going to come here and just, when animate style again, I'll try, yeah, it depends on my mode. Right now I saw this image and it looked wonderful, so I thought I could give it a try. That's why I'm doing this. Yeah, I want to reduce the particle count here, so we can come here, reduce these, and I just scale them up. Okay, let's assume that's our first block, and I want them to be the same scale as our original building. So let's assume that's the first block, and we can start placing them in a way that leaves room for streets, streets and roads, which we can add later. I am competing in the MSI challenge. Could you help in completing some cities? Oh, there's a challenge? Didn't know that. Okay, so we just need to duplicate these blocks. You can even make some cities that are like that. Or if you don't want to use this instancer, you can just create one using a hair system. You can instance using the hair system, and actually it might be necessary here because, for example, we want a diagonal street like this, so this instancer would help a lot here. And again, we can use with a little bit of Blender practice, you can understand most of the things within a week if you wanted to attend. If you wanted, yeah, most things here can be understood very easily. You can compete, you have the proper knowledge. There is a time to look this deadline. What month? Where can I find I don't think I will compete, but I just want to know some information about that. Maybe I can let people know who want to compete. Okay, so let me first go to the switch of the instance of a bit. Okay, they are facing the wrong rotation or orientation. They are facing the wrong direction. So let's go in here and turn on advanced rotation. Let's see, global Y, global Z. Yeah, something like that. And we want, you can turn on advanced under emission source. Let's turn on random. Okay, the size, they should be the same size as the other buildings. And we might want to add in to continue these streets. So I'm just going to select this. So we have a continuation of buildings. Yeah. The spacing is a bit let's try jittered, random, yeah, something like that. We can also continue this street. Yes, like that. You can duplicate this. So you can see how you can style up your city quite easily. Okay. Let's set up some lighting and see. Going through your description, you got awesome mouse. Check yourself. Thank you. Hey Kapil, how are you? How are you doing? How's everything? What sky do you need as normal Sunday? Depends on the render engine. But the Nishit render engine, the Nishita sky is, I think, gives you the best results, but it only works in cycles. Let me switch back to Eevee. Yes. Let's add a flow. I'm just going to give it the concrete or wall material here. I'm going to scale it up. Awesome. Nice. And let's add some ambient occlusion. I think the roof colors, we don't want them to be too different. We want them to stay within the same tonal range. So let's go back to the main buildings here. We don't want them, let me see, we want them to be less saturated. So I'm just going to add a color hue and saturation here. Just reduce on the saturation. Of the roof, like so. Okay. Now we can just grab everything we have here, and the good thing is, because we're using instances, it's not really adding too much to the computation power required to render this. So that's good. I think my streets might be a bit too big. Interesting. Anyway. Okay, now making this look like a major city, let's see. Let's see. First, let's add some volumetrics. I'm going to grab a cube like this, give it a shader principal volume. Did you duplicate or Alt D? So for this, it doesn't really matter if I'm using Shift D or Alt D. It will continue to duplicate these as instances because I'm using geometry node to instance this. So even when I use Shift D, these are still instances. The underlying geometry might be duplicated, but these particles are going to be instances, so it doesn't matter. Even with this particle system, if I duplicate this using Shift D, the main geometry, this geometry will be a duplicate, but these particles will be instances, so it doesn't add to the particle count still. Okay. Can start making this look like a mega city visually. Just adding some fog. I usually like to angle the fog. I don't remember who gave me this technique, but I think it was a viewer in the live stream. So it's an amazing way to add a fading fog. I think this should be around 0.1. That we can reduce just to let's try this one, and we need some direction of sun. And there's some clouds maybe. I don't know, this shouldn't be this strong. Shouldn't be that strong. Now let's come to the camera here. First, I have to try this with the angle technique. Yeah, it makes faded fog really good. Let's get some clouds. Bro, when will you create like Dangzi? Yeah, I want to first study his art a bit. Familiarize myself with how he does his stuff before I can jump in. And go to quick functions, just play with some of the exposure we have here. Again, I think these streets are still too big. Maybe you can even add more. Okay, now let's try adding some light structures. I'm just going to go to, I'll show you how to make light buildings like this, but for now, let me just try and throw in some placeholder buildings. Bro, where do you get the clouds? I just get them from Google. Just find an image from Google that I just throw in. Okay, so we just need to add some light structures like this. Now, the issue is this one is not textured. That's okay. Now, the roads, we can work on the roads a bit to make the streets look more lively. Hello everyone, there is no dedicated graphics card in my laptop. Where when I start Blender after sometimes it's stuck. Should I buy an eGPU? What is that? I've never heard of that. Is that like an electronic GPU? Is that what you mean? Because I don't think that would work. That would help you a lot. Okay, so let's add some roads. And the way I'm going to make the roads, I want to keep things simple. Just have this. Let me go to texture, quick textures, find a road material like this, assign it to the road. Great. Now let's have an array. Like that, and we can start just adding the roads. Can make them smaller. It's a small detail, but kind of makes things look cool. And I can even just duplicate this. Now, of course, roads needs street light. You can add fog to your scene instead of clouds. Fog. Yeah, so I also have fog. Let me see. Just fake fog. Fog. Basically, it's a gradient fed into a texture. So it will help with the separation. With separating the foreground from the background. Let me get this one. Can create a few layers of separation in our city like that, which is great. Yeah, we were still working on the roads. Going to grab this road and just add a few extra details because this is not enough. I'm just going to add a cube and just extrude a street light. It doesn't have to be super detailed because most of this is just going to be, give me a moment. Because this is going to be in a far distance, you shouldn't be able to see any, it shouldn't matter how detailed this is. So we can have one there, have another one in the opposite direction. Like that. And we also need some cars in here. And again, we don't want to use too much resources. So we can make, you see, even from this, you can't really make out the cars. So that's your ringtone. Nice. Okay, anyway, I'll have this. Just create an easy car. Like that. Just spread them on the road. Doesn't seem like much, but it helps with the detail. Okay, let me separate this. So we have some traffic on the road. Can you randomize the houses on the x-axis? Yeah. Let me change this to a 20 millimeter. Yeah, randomizing them on the z-axis is just going to create a few issues that I don't want. What I'm going to do is, but we can do that the issue with that is that let me see, random rotate Z. I don't think it's going to help a lot. But what could help is just go back to the main collection of the buildings and just create a few other buildings in a different rotation. So let's say this. And select and we should reduce how many buildings have these roofs. Oh, good. I was waiting for this. How can I put 1,000 likes? Hello, friend. Good art will be. How are you? And how are you feeling, friend? I'm great. I'm great. And thank you for the 1,000 likes. I imagine you have added them. So thank you. Okay. So what we lack here is some trees. So I can borrow this. Let's first create a fake tree that we can use. Just going to grab this plane here. Actually, I can just go to my texture folder, look for tree, see if I can find any tree. Yeah, something like this I think would work, and just create a texture plane. It is essentially just going to give us a tree like that. And I'm going to use the alpha channel of this as the alpha. And just make sure that we have this set to alpha clip. And the shadow can also be clip. Let me see if we can get away by having something like this. I want alpha clip for the tree, like that. Hey, Vinit. Channel is growing. Yeah, it grows sometimes. Thank you. Okay, so we are going to grab this and just instance it. I'm just going to duplicate this. I only need one piece. And I replace the buildings with this tree. So I can come in, make sure this is a completely new instance, change from collection to object, and just select this tree. Now I want the rotation to be object Z. Yeah. I can randomize the rotation. I can also randomize the scale. Now I can just place these trees randomly in our space. I think I just have to bring down the scale of the trees quite significantly. And I'm tempted to also change how these trees are rendered. Instead of just using a diffuse, I think we can get away with a translucent might give us better results. A translucence mixed with let's see, a diffuse. And then blended with transparency shader, transparency, like that. So this would become the alpha. And you would not like to make a JS displacement. It would not be visible so well, but it would be suitable for extras. Yeah, the jet displacement would work for maybe background, for the background. I think this has to be switched. Let me see, can I? Just trying to see the best way to render trees. Let me see if I try alpha blend. Yeah, this gives us the best tree, I think. Yeah, just have a bunch of trees in there. And so I can instance this again, duplicate this here. Just make sure that this is at the same level as our houses. Can see how slowly by slowly things are coming together. Can duplicate this further. Just have these trees everywhere, and can just size, shape things to look. Yeah, I don't like change the color of this. Let's do something like that. Just during the stream not too long ago, how did you scatter the little buildings? This is just these buildings are scattered using either geometry nodes or the hair particle system. I'm using both. Let's add some cars to this. I think I'm going to double the number of cars in this one. Can add more mega structures in the background. Let me see. Let's get some other buildings. This very much reminded me of a moment from the movie District number 9 or District 9. I really like this picture. It is Charisma post-apocalypse. I just saw it and I knew I had to try it out. It's just that good. Let's find more buildings we can add in. Trying to create this without some pre-made assets is just being insane, man. It would be too difficult. I think I want to play with the contrast a bit. Maybe these clouds. Yes. So this is how the city looks without any fog. I think it looks good. If us add more add more trees, yeah. Maybe even more city. This side. I think I want to make this concrete more dark. So let's do RGB curves. Specs are, yeah, thank you, Ganja. But it's exclamation mark specs. And yeah, just use exclamation mark specs in the settings, in the chart, and you get the specs. But let me show you. Here's GTX 1060 3GB. Nothing impressive. Yeah, you kind of botched that one, you missed. But thank you for the effort. Still. Hey, let's... Yeah, like that. Finally got it. I would actually be surprised if you got it right, Ganja, because I'm always expecting you to be... Because you are a farmer and for a specific plant, yeah, it would be more surprising if you got it right. So not getting it right is staying true to character. So yeah, anyway, let's see, let's add a few extra buildings. Mega please create live cartoon. Cartoons are hard to make, man. Making characters like that is kind of hard. Let's see. Let me grab this. Just throw in some larger building. Yeah, I just wanted to help. You finally got it. And which is awesome. Okay, just throwing in some extra buildings. And maybe we have larger buildings closer to these. Just throw in a few smaller blocks like that. Should make the city look more should make the city look more alive. Can you try making the houses smaller and increase the you're right, especially for some of these blocks. Let me see for this one here. Maybe I can reduce the rotation, Z rotation a bit. Yeah, you're right. I think we do need to reduce the size. That we can now just throw in these larger buildings to give the city more character. Can I even see this? Yeah. I think these, and just do a copy modifier. I have a Tony Stark building. Very proud of that one. Let me also mix it somewhere in the distance. Let's bring some traffic. Onto this road as well. I think I need more street lamps. I should definitely be shorter than this. They're not visible, so they're just wasted resources. So let's use them. Okay. I think if you copy your scene and scale it by 0.5, if you look nice. Oh, then instead of scaling it by 5, I will just zoom out, because scaling things really messes up things quite a lot. So maybe scaling it, zooming out, should have the same effect. And I think you're right. If we have more, let's just change things a bit here. Not sure about the sky. Is really I'm not feeling the sky just yet. This sky is really hard to control. Okay, so now we can, let me grab everything here. Alt D. Now, just want mostly this. Flying cars? Sure, of course. We can't do a futuristic city like this and fail to add in flying cars. You are definitely right. Let me have this in BK. Let me see, how much distance do we have here? 60. Let me move. Just add some mega structures. Now we need some big structures that are going to cast shadows everywhere. And I think I can use this. The issue is it doesn't have materials on it. But let me see. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Visha Kuma. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Did you make these mega structures? Yes. This is all part of my building pack made a few months ago, if not a year almost now. It would be very hard to complete this project without some already pre-made stuff, so thank you. Let's play with the contrast of this. Grab the sun. Now it's time to work on some really large structures. Let's see if I want to create a mega structure somewhere. So how to make those reference image in big buildings? Yeah, that's what I'm trying to make here now. Modeling them is not super hard. It's the texturing that I'm kind of worried about. So let's make one close up here. So I think we're going to have to use a lot of arrays. Let's use the concrete texture here. So if say we have this, you can actually, I think I'm approaching this incorrectly. Let's say we give this a solidify modifier. About if we give this an array in a constant array in the Z, just trying to see how we can approach making a mega structure like this. And in that, let's add some columns. It's about columns. Then some smaller, even smaller support columns. Then don't worry about the texturing, just some colors with that. Maybe you're right. Let's add, just basically trying to make up some random stuff here that can make it look like a mega structure. So if I have this, if I have something like this and give it a skin modifier, we can easily turn this into a crane, and I think we can use a triangulate modifier as well before this. Now we should be able to then we can add maybe, I don't know, a cylinder. I don't know, 12 vertices. Because if you look at how he created this, these are just, like Ganja said, this is just a bunch of colors, shapes with different colors, and it gives the illusion of a mega thing, a mega structure. Use auto smooth on this. Just add some whatever seems like detail. Then maybe we can add an array. Now, I think the issue we're having here is that this seems to be in direct sunlight. So let's see if I change the direction of the sun. You know, I like how the sun reflects, creates that reflection, and I think we should. Now, the issue I'm having is, let me see, how many suns do I have in this scene? Yeah. Okay, something like that. I think we can also fake the horizon here, just using a gradient instead of relying on a sky. So like this, make sure that it's not affecting, it's not casting any shadow. So let's fake our own sky here. The reflection, yeah, I think the reflection looks good. I just want to fake this sky as well. It's coming. Beautiful, thank you. You're so good at modeling, thank you. Okay, let's create a gradient, top-down gradient. Just flipping this 90 degrees. Like that, I think should be negative 90 degrees. Like that. Now we can add color ramp. Let's remove the bloom for a bit. Thank you for subscribing, Lord Neutron. Will you please make a tutorial on Blender Animation Composite into After Effects? It would be very grateful. Well, that would be an interesting topic, but I think I need to first find something to animate. Now I want a spot for the sunlight, so what I'm going to do is just let me add an empty here. That is what I'm going to use to control that, and I'm going to grab a gradient sphere, spherical, add mapping, and just choose object mapping here, and select this, and now we should have a circle that I can scale up and reposition as our sun. Let me see. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Jib Trimmer. Thank you. Yeah, so we want the sun to be here, creating this specular highlight there. So, and we can blend it. Can also give it color. So, like yellow spot like that. Blend it with our sky. But this time let's use add. Can even make the effects. I think if I add color hue and saturation, and just amp this value. Let's see if I change this to this spline. No. Use an emission shader. Just turn on bloom. Maybe yes. Please answer. I've been trying to texture a mountain in Blender, but I can't. And Substance Paint also doesn't work in my computer. So please tell me any substance. I think CG Geek has a good tutorial on how to do that. I don't remember who exactly, which YouTuber has that, but I think CG Geek. Let me see. Yeah, he has a good tutorial on how to texture a mountain in Blender, so you can watch that and see. Can you get a planet picture and add some bloom on it? Like a like a double moon picture. Let's see. Yes, find. Let's go with Jupiter. What about lens flare? A lens flare is a bit hard in Blender. You can, but there is an add-on for that. Someone has an add-on for making lens flares. I'm forgetting. Let me get a better texture. It is getting mega every video. Here we are going mega. Okay, so let's continue as I'm finding a better texture for our planet. Let me grab this image, this here, this structure. Let me call it structure, whatever. Just want to use it as a collection instance. With K cycles, I get lens flares with one click. Ah, nice. That's another solution. Okay. Just center this in the world, and now we can instance this. And it's a mega structure under construction, so and to add in these kind of lens effect, I think we can add a point light somewhere here. Give it should be behind here. Let's see. Hey, thank you for subscribing, Heming Yang. I'm going to grab another maybe sphere. Have it, because I want to fake this this lens flare or God rays effect. So I'm going to have an emission emissive material shader emission You know what? I think we can even just get rid of this fake sun we added. Can get rid of the fake sun and just use this sphere. Can't spell 6 FPS. Nice. Oh, I forgot about the planet. Let's get the planet again. Okay, so I have saved this image. Okay, it's in a stupid format. Okay, it's downloading. Okay, it's in a format that I don't get. Let me see. Hey, let's open it with paint. Huh. Hey, paint. Just drop it in. Can't be read. Let me find a different image that is readable. Okay, let me go to my texture folder and just go to my billboard folder. Actually, we can just use a sphere and create a PBR material from this, but we are going to use projection from view, and what we want is to project to this sphere. Let's go back to the original image. See. Maybe half of the planet is showing, so maybe this is not sure how this planet would fit. Yeah, I'm not sure about the planets. So, and, I think I can even just flip this building upside down, and it should still look like something. I think if we give it that leaning, I also like how it catches the reflections. I think I'm going to increase this to we'll still need more cities in the more buildings in the back. Yes. Let me see if we add some cables. Good. And I do have a solution for cables. Let me first add some more buildings in the background here. Now they're evenly distributed, so I can go to the noise here and just randomize their position a bit. Okay. I'm not even sure if they are visible. Some cables. Yeah, I have a cable generator in my quick generators. So let's use that. Again, this is also available to my Patreons. So these are our cables. How we can increase the sagging. Let me. This when this happens, let me turn off my this here. Okay, from this distance they are not very visible, so what I'm going to do is just increase the let's see, I don't have that setting. Yeah, I don't think I have that setting exposed, but I should be able to increase. Let me go back to geometry nodes. I should be able to increase the radius of these cables so they are visible. I'm surprised that I don't have that exposed. Let me see. That would be here. So let me just expose that value, and yeah, now I can increase the size of the cables. Maybe even for this one, the cables should be nearly invisible. It's rare that YouTube recommends me a stream, but this looks cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, YouTube has been generous to me for quite some time, so yeah, I am glad. I am glad to see you here. Okay. What else? What else? What else? We need more trees here, so. Your PC can handle this? Yeah. Hasn't had any major issues just yet. And we have a lot of instances, so it's usually, instances are usually much easier to deal with. Well, if that's on your 1060 GPU, I want to get will be insane. I want to get it will be insane. Yeah, it's on my it's on my GPU, and it seems to handle just fine. Where's this? Yeah, 1060, and you can see my memory is also not that much. Let's try different angles and see. So let me have this moved up. This should be okay. I think it's even looking better now. I'm going to grab this Tony Stark building maybe. Yes, if you don't use GPU, I guess no, it uses GPU, I think. And I think we can even see that that my GPU is 5%. Sure, let me see. If I move around, yep, definitely uses GPU. So you can see that right now it's at 13%, 5%, 40%. If I move around in 3D view, you see it goes up 99%, 91, 100%. If you are in EV mode, if you go out, drops again. Yeah, definitely using GPU. Let's have another one of these structures. Yeah, I think I have a crane. A construction crane. Perfect. Now with that, I think we can, this is what was missing in our scene, a construction cranes, because a city like this is always in growing. Hey, thank you, Mr. Rocking Stuff. How are you? Glad to see you joining us. How much days will it complete to? How much days will it take to complete the entire system? Oh, how much money you? How many days will it take to complete the entire system? What system? What system do you mean? Because if you're asking how long it will take me to complete this project, well, for the length of the stream, I usually work on the projects just during the live stream, not more than the live stream. Okay, I think we can add a character standing on the crane here. Somewhere like that. And we also want him to be lit. Will we have a chance to download the scene? It's going to be available to my patrons if you want to get it. Oh, my car is way too weak now. Okay, I want some lighting on him. So I'm just going to have an area light in front of him. Just so it doesn't just look as a silhouette. Grab a banner. feel like my answer was never, my question was never answered. Hey, have you tried Octane render for Blender? No, I have not. I have not. Have I? No, I think. Yeah, I've tried a few different renders, but the issue with them is that usually have to learn everything from. It's like you have to relearn the shading of that render because they use different shaders in those renders than Cycles or Eevee. Can you put a cat on the street? Definitely, man. Let's put him somewhere there. Cat. Let's put him, and he has to be to scale, so he may not be seen through the camera, but we will know that he's there. So you can see he's tiny there. So yeah, ganja, you really reduce on what you're smoking, man. Really. I mean, take a healthy dose. A healthy dose. Don't try to smoke the entire plantation, man. Anyway, let's see what else can we add in. Would it be better next to the character? You mean? Oh, maybe we can add another one. Let's add an extra one. And there, that is visible. Don't smoke and blend. It's anyway, some buds. Yeah, I do have buds. Gotta love my library, man. It just, where are my buds? Bud. Am I spelling bud wrong? Is the guy contemplating a jump? Nah, he's just overlooking the city. He's not that kind of person who would jump. These scrapers are these guys who just climb buildings for no reason. Hey, Dry's Gaming and Home Toys, how are you? Yeah, definitely don't smoke and blend. It would be a disaster for you. You'll end up smoking your PC with a lot of poly counts. So maybe if you're trying to smoke and then you don't have a lighter, you can just throw some heavy render on your machine and the person is way bigger for the crane. Okay, let's see. This should be that size. Oh, you watch those videos? Yeah, people just climbing stuff. I don't know, for the thrill of it, but one false move and you're gone. Thank you, Astralis, for subscribing. Building window light. Yeah, that's you see, the issue with Eevee, any light you add just adds computational power, so it becomes very heavy for the, I guess we can add a light somewhere here. I don't know, just let's see if I duplicate this. Yeah, you know what, doesn't look bad if we add some lights in here. Something like that. Let's add some decals. I'm scared if heights I never get those people. Yeah, I can't do what they do. It's insane. It's insane. And they put their lives at risk and lives of other people at risk. So not only insane, but yeah, they put other people at risk. Yeah, birds. I was looking for birds. Here we have a bird. Let me decimate these. Thank you, Mikhail Alguino for subscribing. The building on the left is board proportion. Can you try double it in size? Building on the left. This building? What do you mean board proportions? Because I'm not sure what that means. See what else we can add in here. Looks fine. I'm going to stop trusting you, man, Ganja, because anyway, let's see. Let's play with the colors a bit and see. Just going to go through my presets here, like that. That as well. Think we might need more structures in the far distance. And I think we would have to pull this. Let's try different colors. Place a spaceship. Oh, flying cars, spaceships. Let's see. Do I have any? I don't think I have a spaceship, but I definitely have some cars. Let's see. Can this work as a flying car? Maybe it can double as a spaceship and a flying car. So we can have it somewhere like that. It's kind of futuristic, and what I'm going to do is let me give it a tail light. Shader. We give it. Let me first clear rotation 180 degrees. I want to give it a glowing tail light, so it's to just parent this to this. That we want it. Let's see if I add a curve like and remove the tails. Okay. Okay, now that if I'm removing the tails, then I can just. It's already has a tail light. I think this. Let's see. I want to give it a trail, so let's use this as the trail. Can give it a new material. Can use an emission and some transparency. Blend the two. Let's use. Make sure we're using alpha blend. No shadows. You need to instance it over the streets and many other places. We don't want to overwhelm the streets, I think, with cars. But let's see, because I want to first have one that this character is looking at as the focus point of the project. Let me see. If we add some noise. It should be stretch noise, so let's do scale it in the maybe x-axis. Okay, I think this to work correctly, we need this to use UV mapping. So this has to be a curve. Instead of being a curve, has to be a mesh. So unwrap this and straighten these curves. So Now this can be used as our factor here, and should be a trail. Maybe give it some red light too. Yeah, something I wanted to do something like this. Let me see. Some trail like that. Maybe we can have a few extra flying cars. In the air. Maybe this can also be thinner. The trail doesn't have to be that big. And if you animate this car for 2 or 3 frames, kind of moving and render the motion, blur it, also be nice. Animating this is quite a lot of work. Let me see, if I just do a camera push in, let me see. Yeah, that would be nice. So let's see. And what we could do about animating these trails, because those are the hardest to animate, we could just hook them to this object. So Control H, hook to selected object, and that should give us the necessary animation if we need it. Make wing. Is it necessary for this? Think we need more blocks around here. If it was wings, then it's not a flying car anymore. It would be a plane. Okay, so let's do a quick render of this and maybe post it on Instagram and see. Okay, doesn't look too bad. Though one thing I'm noticing is that I'm seeing the tree instance which I don't want to see. Looking great, thank you. I would remove the character or have him sit down. Oh, let's make him seated then. Is too much a daredevil for you? Where is he? Here? Okay, let's have him seated. Yeah, my FPS is dropping really bad. Let me see. Need to make sure that none of these trees are rendering their instance. It gives more sci-fi vibe. Yeah, I guess this the reference image also has the same effect. Let's render this. Okay, I still see some instances still rendering. I need to work with groups, so you always can't blend them and out. What type of groups? I'm not sure. I'm not following what you mean. More houses on the right. If I save this image. on the right. Ah, here? Definitely, yeah. Um, Not sure why it's doing that. And make sure I don't have any keyframes other than the ones. Let's see. I'll also lack some buildings around here. You can also make a short film like Ian Hubbard's Dynamo team. Ian Hubbard is on another level, man. It's yeah. Let me bring back some funk here. We had you don't have to donate. It's just we're here to enjoy. No problem. Where can I find good tutorials to create realistic humans? Something channel or everything to me. Create realistic human something. I think YouTube is one place you can find such tutorials. So maybe look there. Let's render this quickly. Can you make a dedicated video on this project you made on live stream? What do you mean? I think we need cars on this street as well. CG he have some good content about making characters. Okay. You can. I'm going to post this on Instagram. If you want, if you guys want to comment, let me get you the link. Yeah, so that's the link for Instagram if you want to check out the render. Let me just get the final image. So this is the city. I think actually this is the final version. Yeah. You can let me know what you think. Let me just post this on Instagram. And I can also check out some of the other stuff. The render is in Eevee. It's not in Cycles. But I think we can try out Cycles and see how that is going to look. And let me see what filter can we use on this. I think it looks good without any filters, so I don't know. Let me just keep it without filters. Call this daily render. Daily render. Blender 3D Cycles. Eevee, this is Eevee live stream. Comment, critique, done. Yeah, thank you, Ajax. Thank you. And if you want to see any other works we have done previously, just go to the Instagram. You should see some other renders we made. This we made yesterday. Was it yesterday? I don't remember. So you can see some of the previous renders we did. You need to make the very down of the picture more dark. You mean here? I think that would be a post-processing effect, because I don't see a way to do that. Maybe a vignette, something. Let me see if I grab this, so we can try a natural vignette here. That is also not bad. Can you spell the channel name? Top channel 1, but if you want the Instagram link, just use !, socials, and it should give you the links. I should get Nightbot should give you the Instagram link. Yeah, so that's the Instagram. And if you want the Discord, just use !, Discord. And maybe talking about Discord, let's end the stream by checking out what you guys are doing on the Discord server. And yeah, this is easy. That's why you can navigate. Hey, thank you, Exxon Bob, for that, for the donation. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Thank you. I'll get some tea with that, some coffee. Thank you. Yeah, you can see. I think it looks good from different angles, which is amazing. I also like how the trees came out. Thank you again, Exxon. Thank you, Emerald City Clarity as well. Yeah, so if you want to make the city even more better, you can make a few extra buildings and instance them, use them to instance. I think that's it. Let's check out the Instagram. Of course, I think I posted this. Oh, this is what I've just posted. Yeah, this was yesterday and other times. So anyways, that's going to be it. Thank you for showing up. I'll see you in next live stream. Stay safe.